Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Fernvalley Farm's YouTube channel. My name is Vince, if we're meeting for the first time, and welcome. If you want to see beekeeping videos, this is the channel to come to. Okay, this is a retake of the first part of this video. If I repeat myself in the rest of this, I'm sorry. You know, technology, I brought an extra battery out here with me. I started making this video, the camera died, put a new battery in, and when I went to go to upload it, the first part of this thing didn't save for whatever reason. So anyways, I'm just retaking the first part of this video really quick here. And I'll link it at the end of this video, but don't go watch them yet. When I made these two new packages that I did. I installed the two packages in number 7 and number 6, which I moved over here now. I installed them on a Friday. It was a beautiful afternoon. It was like 70 degrees, just beautiful weather. Saturday was nice, Sunday was nice, and cold weather hit pretty hard that whole following week. Well, unfortunately, one of them didn't make it, but it was really bizarre. And if anybody knows the answer to this, leave them in the comments below. It's almost like the bees were like dormant, and I want to say the word starts with a T. Torber, or it's something like that. I can't even look it up because I'm not sure how to spell it, but if somebody knows the answer to this, let me know. I started looking in the hives, and they were active. But then, all of a sudden, you go inside there, and they were just like all cuddled together. They really weren't even moving. But if you touched them, they would move like really slow, like they were dormant. They were warm. They were a little wet. I mean, they weren't wet from moisture. So I kept checking on them. It was cold for like a whole week, and I still don't know. So anyway, long story short, one of them died. After I installed the bees, like I said, I installed them on a Friday afternoon. It was beautiful. It was 70. Saturday was nice, Sunday was nice, they were flying, and then a whole week of weather hit. It got down to the low 20s for like 5 nights in a row, 4 or 5 nights in a row. I came out here, I taped up the seams. I wanted to make sure that they were okay in there. And I've had this before where I've installed packages in cold weather and they've made it just fine. This was just really bizarre how what these guys did. I even, like I said, taped up the seams just to make sure no cold air can get in there. But it was pretty cold for a good 4 or 5 days. This is one of the things you'll lay up at night thinking about your poor bees out there in the cold. And when you lift the lid to look at them, even when it was cold out, the first couple of days, especially hive number 7 here, you can lift the lid and you can see the cluster. They were all just kind of hanging together and moving around, looking really, really well. And then about a day or so after that, that's when it all just went to so it's pretty depressing. I really wanted to get these 2 packages going. First of all, you'll lose money, which we all hate doing, but I'm sure and I'm not the only one here, we've all learned when you get into beekeeping, you're going to lose money. It's just part of it. Bees unfortunately die. But for these packages to die like that, or the one anyways to die like that, was really bizarre. So that was not only losing the money, losing that other hive. So I'm going to hopefully make that up in a couple of hard splits. A couple of my hives are pretty big here, so I'm going to split them pretty hard. So I come out here the following Saturday or Sunday when it finally got warm out again. I lifted the lid on both of them. I wanted to let the sun just hit them and warm them up, and I moved my fingers around on them, and they started to move a little bit. And I thought they were dead, completely dead. So the one package I put on the ground, and I actually shook some of the frames. I just thought the bees were dead. And all of a sudden they started like coming around, moving around, and coming to life. I'm like, what? So I put the box right there. Those bees started flying around. They went back into the hive. The other hive, I did the same thing. They looked like they were dead. And same thing, and all of a sudden the heat hit them and the sun hit them. They just like came to life. It was really bizarre. Those 3-pound packages have a lot of bees in there. So I don't know how they got that cold. I don't know how it just got that cold in there. They were in a single box. Plenty of room for the cluster to stay clustered together. So anyways, long story short, one of them died, didn't make it, it just got too cold. The other one survived. Once the sun hit it, it's like they came back to life. It was really bizarre. And, which is hive number 7. Number 6, which was right next to it, obviously that one died. I'm gonna make some splits eventually here. So anyways, in this video you're about to see, I go through the hive. I wanted to make sure the queen made it. And you'll see in the video that she did. There is some larvae, some eggs, but you'll see in the video that I did go through it and I inspected it. But if I repeat myself a couple of times here, sorry about that. I just can't remember what I said in the beginning of this video the first time. So you're gonna see in the video how I go through it, what's going on in there. Unfortunately, they're doing really, really well. They've been out flying. The weather's, it's been cool out again, but it's been nice out lately and they are out flying. So anyways, let's get to the video where I inspect the hive. All right. You gotta love when your battery dies right when you first start a video. That's why you always carry extra batteries with you. So anyways, I think what I was saying is I left the cover up, I let the sun hit it, they just kind of came back to life. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna check on this hive number 7, because 6 is not with us anymore. I'm really bummed. And plus you spend all that money too on these packages. So we're gonna check number 7 now. We're gonna see what they're doing. I wanna see if the queen's starting to lay, just see what's going on in the hive. So let's get to this here. Okay, so I am suited up for this because last time I came in and checked on these guys, they weren't real happy with me. So we're gonna make sure we wear our suit and see what goes on here. I got the smoker lit, so let's open it up. Yeah, they're drinking some of the syrup. All right, let's give them a little smoke. And I do eventually want to get in here, and I'm hoping the queen is still alive. That's my other issue. That's one thing we're going to be checking for, is making sure she lived. They're working on the pollen patties a little bit. Let's put these over here. But I would love to see some larvae. And I know they're starting to bring in pollen because I was watching them yesterday and they were. Well, they're storing some of the nectar. You really can't see it, but they are storing some of the nectar, well, some of the sugar syrup, I should say. And the nectar flow is pretty close to starting here. So let's see what we got going in here. I really hope the queen is still alive. You can see the cluster here is what about, you know, I always count my frames like 1 frame, half, so like 1, 2 frames total. Yay, I see larva. You can't really... There is larva. The queen is alive. Woohoo! Alright. What I might even do with this hive, depending on how fast they build, I might split this one again. Not yet, obviously. Let some of this stuff develop. One little trick you could do is you can kind of blow gently on your bees, and that will make them move away. They are storing pollen. They've got larvae in the middle, pollen on the bottom. Ideally, pollen on the bottom and even like honey around the top. But obviously these are brand new, so they're not really storing a lot of honey. But I do see larva. And she is in here somewhere. So, for right now, I don't want to mess with them too much. I'm really bummed that other package didn't make it. So let's see what this frame looks like. So it'll be... Yep, there we go. There's some eggs. We have a queen. Ta-da, right? Do the happy dance. Oh, that pissed them off. Well, you probably can't see. I'm on the other side, so you can't see this. Like I always say, one day when I'm rich and famous on YouTube, I could hire a camera person, right? I'm going to be like Cameron. He's got someone who's got somebody that does his video work for him. So anyways, there's pollen. They are bringing pollen in because I've seen it. Like I said, I always come out here and just like in the afternoon and kill some time and just sit here and watch them, see what they're doing. And I am seeing them bring in. Just started the other couple days ago, which I forgot to put that down. I keep a note too of everything that goes on. I keep like a logbook of everything. And they were just bringing, and I forgot to write that down. Okay, so we're going to put these guys back together. There you go, girls. Everybody go back where you were. I am going to dump out those dead bees down there. So let me put the apivar in here. I might even leave this in a little bit longer than the 6 weeks because my girls were pretty much dormant there for a while, so and I pretty much, since there's not that many bees, I'm sure some of you guys are watching and thinking, why do you got 2 strips in here? Well, I did lose a bunch of these bees did die, so I was kind of figuring on having a whole lot of bees out of that 3-pound package. But you know what, I don't care. There's a bunch of bees in here. I got the, you know, it's already opened, why not? So just put them in there. I'd rather have the health. I want good, healthy bees. Obviously, I'm not taking any honey off of these guys this year. It's all for next year. That was my original plan. But I am going to split this hive. Once they start to grow a little bit, I'll requeen it. But I know there's a laying queen in here. I've got their apivar in there. All right, let me put this down. Let me just take this box off for a minute. Real carefully. I got my beetle barn in there. You see that? That's for hive beetles. I'll do a video on that. But you can see, that's not too bad. I mean, there's dead bees, but not as bad as. If you can, and you do get the chance, it's a good idea to clean out your bottom board, just in case there's too many dead bees down there, more towards fall or even in the spring. Because you don't want them clogging up the entrance. Put that there. Put this right back in the middle. Come here, girls. That made me happy. I've got my queen is still all right. Put the pollen patties bad. They might not even be touching this now because real pollen's coming in. Come here. Don't sting me. I'm trying to help you. So this might be kind of pointless right now, but it's already there. Just leave it. I will leave the feeder on still for a little while. Once the nectar flow really kicks in, then I'll take it off because it's just kind of pointless. But they are drinking some of it, so we'll leave it. It ain't hurting nothing. There are bees up in here, so. We have a laying queen. I was so worried that she wasn't going to make it. Like I said, it was bizarre. And like I said, if somebody knows, leave in the comments below what that word is. I want to say Torber, or it starts with a T. And I tried to Google it, and of course I'm not spelling it right. So that's what they were doing. It's like they were just dormant. And I thought they were both dead. I was like really going to cry. And I moved them, and they just started moving real slow, like they were just hibernating. The other hives were all fine. You peek in there, and even this, actually this one was the better one out of the 2 of them, but I don't know. The main thing is they made it. I'm happy. I got a laying queen. I count my frames, 1 frame. So I'll make a note of this. I'm going to put 2 frames of bees, but in reality I have 1 frame both sides, a half a side and a half a side. So that's 1, 2. You know, I just do it that way. I keep a notebook, a logbook of all this stuff. I got a pad of paper out there in my little chest out there. So when I get done with the hive, I write this stuff down. This way you can kind of keep a logbook. You can go back throughout the, you can go back throughout the season and see what's going on. But they are bringing in pollen. There is eggs. There is larva. Nothing's capped yet. It's still a little bit early, but that's fine. I wanted to just make sure she was laying, and she is. So go watch this video right here, and you can see the install of these 2 packages and see how I did it. Hopefully give somebody some ideas of how it works. Do me a favor, click, like, subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Share it with all your friends. Thumbs up are always appreciated. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. All right, bye.